Hi there, this week's question is what happens after a file is deleted? My name is Steve, this is TQA Weekly, and to better understand what it's like for a file to be deleted, let's compare it to a phone book. Your phone book will be using a kind of file system like MBR and GPT, and these are more specific to Windows users, but we'll focus on you guys for now, and it's basically the same for Mac and Linux and Unix. You have your partition tables that you use for everything else. Your individual partitions, especially for Windows users, will be using things such as NTFS, which is the most popular, and you also have options like FAT32, FAT16, exFAT, and all that, but those are usually for your USB drives. Each of those partitions are like chapters. Your individual files, though, are the individual pieces of information of each specific business and person inside of the address book. And these usually point to a physical location, which is very important to understand. Because what is happening is that your partition table is an address book of where all the information on your hard drive is stored. All you need to do to make that file really private is to delete that information, like in the address book, by making it private, and that location will no longer have a pointer to it, but it's still there. And up to this point, you still haven't lost anything. And if you want to get that file back, you can use recovery software, preferably by using another computer reading the drive, but you can do it within your operating system environment. The only suggestion I make is to install the software on a different drive and to recover the files to a different drive. Because the immediate problem that's going to happen if you accidentally delete a file or try to recover files on the same drive is you risk overwriting the other files that you might be missing. And this is the problem with operating systems. Once you delete the file still exists, but it will no longer try to preserve that location, and it might overwrite it immediately. And since files are not necessarily saved in contiguous form, you might be able to recover part of the file because it can be saved in chunks, but be missing various pieces of information that would make the entire file whole, and you may or may not get anything useful out of recovering just chunks of a file. So what ends up happening is that you deleted the information and the operating system saw a chance to overwrite there because your operating system does not actually delete anything from the drives. That would require too much processing power. So the best courses of action are to maintain a backup, and if you need to recover, use a different drive, preferably a different computer, to recover the files too. Therefore, you'll get more of your files back if at all possible. So that is what happens after a file is deleted. The information pointing to it is gone, and now your operating system sees fit to overwrite it. And that's why you might lose a file and never be able to recover it again. So if you ever do that, turn off your computer immediately. Therefore, you don't risk overwriting that file at all. That's all I can tell you to do. Like this episode if you like it, dislike it if you didn't, share with those you think could benefit from this, and don't forget to subscribe. And if you have any questions, comments, suggestions for topics, email me at ask@tqaweekly.com or go to my website, tqaweekly.com, where you can see the show notes on this episode, past others, find other ways of subscribing, and of course use the contact form to email me directly. And if you want to see me play video games, head over to my Twitch at twitch.tv/zaccess1981, where I play every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.